Good morning, all Dhamma brothers and sisters. It's a happy August 11th. Thank you for giving me this chance again to share Master's Dharma. Today's sharing, I would like to focus a bit. I would like to share a bit on what happened these few days in Africa. So my thoughts from it and what I learned from it. And because I work in the International Affairs Department, and it's in charge of the Africa region. So many a time, our brothers and sisters from Africa really touches me a lot. So, well, it is for the most of us over here, maybe except Australia, we are in summer, and it's actually becoming really, really too hot because this year has one of the strongest El Nino effect, and the summer at the northern hemisphere becomes really, really very hot. In fact, for the past few days, I think in Europe, it has been over 40 degrees Celsius. And many places we see floods, typhoons happening. And so, in fact, the forest fire in the USA is still ongoing. And so everywhere is becoming really, really hot. At the other side of the hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, it's going to be a very cold winter already. And so in Africa as well, this is the southern hemisphere, our brothers and sisters over there have already begun distributing the rice from Taiwan for the past few months before winter comes. So I would like to show this photo. Do you notice anything interesting in this photo? Yeah. Well, the very first thing that catches my eyes, that would be the rice that always stands very straight. At the back, you see like rows and rows like an army. That rice is just amazing. And every time when our South African brothers and sisters does their distribution, it's always like this. Rows and rows of rice standing up straight like an army. Amazing. And then you also see the volunteer that is doing the distribution are actually young people. So what happened now in the Africa is that they are now in a stage where they are actively trying to pass down the spirits to the younger generations, and hoping that the younger generations could take up a larger role in the family. And indeed, we have many young volunteers coming up and really taking up big roles. And so, for example, for our weekly, in fact, almost daily home visits, as well as the distributions, they call it Wednesday Teaching Day, or the Wednesday Youth Day. And so on that day, every Wednesday, every distributions or home visits or all these things will be done by the teachings. And then the gogos, there is the mamas, the grandmas, all the elderly volunteers, they call them the gogos, will accompany them in all these works, and by allowing them to do the main task. Say, for example, lining up the rice, doing the recordings, the documentations, taking photos and things like that, and then doing the distribution itself, how the dongxian, the rows, and then how the distribution should go. All of this is done by the youngsters. So, and it's pretty amazing. The youngsters they are trying their best to take up this role. Of course, very scared because even during distribution is also like group sharing. So they would share about the master spirit, the Tzu Chi's stories, and well, for the youngsters, it's of course new for them, and so they would take turn I mean, in one distribution, they would have like 4 people already standing up, taking turn to share, and then supporting each other in the sharing. But at least they're trying their best. They're trying their best to take up the role to be like sisters and brothers standing up front to share about the spirit. And so this is what the youngsters at South Africa are already doing. And I think this is, I want to share about this because I think this is important. This is important. This is important because I think uh, a healthy, well, group, we got to have people from different age groups, and then each teaching each other, each teaching each other, and then continuing on and on and on, so that this spirit, this spirit, could pass on. A few days ago, Master just said, with a very, uh, very deep, uh, solemn words that she really hoped that her Dhamma lineage, her teachings, could pass down. And take for example, those people in Africa, uh, they are people with nothing in their pocket. Their life itself is already poor, but yet they are able to uphold the spirit uh, of Tzu Chi so well, Jing Dhamma lineage so well. Um, uh, but that's for those that are already the elderly already, the gogos, the Taiwanese entrepreneurs that have been there for those 10, 20 over years. The other ones that have carried on the spirit of master, and in fact spread it across the whole Southern Africa. And that's really amazing. And the local volunteers are taking up the role as well. The elderly volunteers, they really have they really uphold the master's teachings. And when I heard this, I felt really, really touched because many a time I always ask myself, are we able? Have we been able to really understand what Master is trying to say and really do what Master wanted us to do? I'm very glad that someone at least up here have already reached what Master feels is the right direction, and that's really great. The Master say after which, she have also seen the younger generation taking up greater roles in Africa, including our youngest CEO. That's also in Africa. There's one of our Tzu Chi graduates, Heng Ming Xuezang, took up the role as the CEO in South Africa. My master says these youth, these younger generations, are they able to carry on the same spirit as the elderly volunteers? I think the same would go to any other countries. I think we all are at this stage where we are trying to pass down the spirit to the younger generation. Have we been able to do that? And as younger generations, have we been able to take the spirit, understand the spirit truly, and not just doing the things, but really understanding the spirit and upholding it? So I want to share a few more stories of how youngsters in South Africa are, I think, somewhere there trying to take on the spirit in their ways. So little minds, but some great vows. I think these two little girls, you would know about them, Xiao and Xiao Kui. They are the kids of Heng Ming Xuezang and Yaqi Xuejie and her cousin. And so this picture was 2 years ago in 2016 when globally we were trying to, we were campaigning this 111 Earth Ethical Eating Day. And so they were also on this ship campaigning for this. Well, of course, for them, it was a different course. Say for Xiaomayi, she she once read this children's newspaper that was talking about how as human beings we have been extracting a lot of these oils and petroleums from the ground and trying to transform it into all the different kinds of materials around the world. In fact, plastic is one of the serious issues that the world is now facing a lot. And then now in the media, in the Facebook, we see a lot of these people talking about plastics, how we should really face it and see how we can reduce it. We have laws that are bans straws or bans plastic bags. All of this often works. But so she read this about this petroleum. We are really taking too much from the ground and then making all these materials. She read this, and then she told her mom, that's Yaxi Xuejie, and say, "Mom, I really want to do something for the world. I think I want to do some. I need to do something for the world." And so she began her project, which is kind of like in the secret that even Yaxi Xuejie, her mom, doesn't really know what she's trying to do, but watching from the back, seeing what she's trying to do. And so she gathered a lot of small pieces of paper and then start to draw. And then, yeah, that's all of this. Because she thought that since she's going to campaign about protecting the earth, and then the best way to do it is, of course, vegetarianism. And so she draw a lot of these cards. Since she's going to campaign about it, you got to have something to show people, right? And so she drew a lot of these small cards. You see that all the different cards are different, and then amazing creativity there. But after a few days, she realized this is a bit too slow, and so she asked her cousin, Xiao Kui, to come and join her every Friday to draw these small little cards. And so for a few weeks, I think 2 months, they have been doing this, drawing small little cards, and then getting prepared. And then we really didn't know what's their plan in their mind, but they just keep drawing these cards. And one day, this is in August 2016. So mom, we are ready. We're going to go out to campaign for vegetarianism. We are going to knock on all the doors and ask for people to join us on January 11th, Earth Adequating Day, and share about vegetarianism. Awesome. And so there they go. They go out, and I think they really have a plan in mind. And they thought since they're going to go far away, knocking on doors, maybe it's a bit easier to go on the roller coaster, the roller blades. But they only have one pair, and so they have one shoes on each of their feet, and so one each, and go out. And then they thought maybe that's easier, roll, and go knocking on doors. And then of course later realized this is actually much more difficult. But they went out, and really amazingly, just one morning they already have 22 families supporting the campaign. Of course, they're all very amazed that the two little girls just knocking on their doors and then ask them, would you like to join the rank and have a vegetarian meal? Of course, they're all very amazed. In fact, one of a family, when they saw these two little girls knocking on the doors, they was like, hey, do you need money? Because they always think that kids knocking on doors probably will be asking for donations, donation drive, would like to support this cause. A few pennies is not too little, a few $100 is not too much, so on and so forth. Yeah, so do you need money? And they say, no, not really. It's not what we want. And it was like, really? You're really not asking for money? You sure? And they were like, we just need you to sign this actually. So somehow, knocking on doors and not asking for money just feels very amazing. To have a mind that's so simple that we just hope that people can join in the work that every day to have a vegetarian meal to support the planet. It's a thought that sounds kind of too pure in a way, that you're really asking nothing from us, but just as supporting something that's good for everyone. Somehow that thought is too pure to be true, but that's the pureness of these little kids, and that kind of struck us in my, and it struck me in my mind that yeah, we really need to be as pure as this. And in fact, the Tzu Chi rule is like this: we ask for nothing, we just ask for everyone to do something good for the world, and that's the purest mind that our Dharma master have taught us. And so there they went out, and in fact, that day was very successful to families. So a month later, they went out again. Of course, not on rollerblades anymore because that's really just too tiring. And so they went on bicycles, and so after these 2 days of knocking on doors, they actually had almost 100 families supporting the campaign. So that's really amazing. Little minds, great vows. But that's 2 years ago. What? So now this year. So I want to share another story. It's again these two girls, but this time around it's not Xiao Mai, but Xiao Kui that started this whole story. Xiao Kui really likes to participate in the teachings activities. She likes to be with the youth because the youth have a lot of fun. The camps would be a lot of games and so on and so forth. So she always looks forward to this summer period when we will have teaching camps in Africa. But this year, well, it so happens that many of the youths, say, have already graduated, and so came back to Taiwan, or maybe they're just too busy, or nobody coming up, and so they decided that there will be no teaching camp that year, and she was so sad. And so, but of course, the regular sister brothers, our Dharma families training camp was still on for the local volunteers, and so she was really looking forward to it. But yet, she heard that many of the youth volunteers, the brothers and 哥哥姐姐们, is not coming for the camp. And so she was really sad. And so and actually Xie was saying that she was just joking on it, but kind of that that looks like our teaching Durban going to close shop already. Durban teaching 要倒店. So she was just joking about it, but the Xiaokui was really sad because they're actually just 12 years old, primary 6. So they are kind of like just a teenage group, but she was thinking, if there's no Tzu Chi youth, the teachings, and then so she would not be able to become a commissioner, and that'll be really scary because if there's no teaching, then she will not be able to become a teaching, and when she cannot become a teaching, then she cannot become a commissioner, and that'll be so sad. That'll be really too sad, and so that cannot happen, and so she told themselves that teaching cannot close shop. They must do something. And as a teaching, of course, when I heard this, I was like, "Oh man, teaching, we got to pull out our socks, man." And so anyway, so these two primary 6, 12 years old little girls begin their project. They're going to hold a teaching events in summer by themselves. Yes, and so Shamai likes to do PPT. She already can do PPT, and so they're going to make again drawings and posters to invite all the brothers and sisters to come. And Xiao Kui likes to draw, and so this is their campaign posters asking all the brothers and sisters, 哥哥姐姐 to come and join us. That was July 15th, just about 1 month ago. And they're going to have this charity project going down to the little communities to do home visits together with all the Mama Gogos for this winter outreach. And so come join us and so on and so forth. And then they done this all by themselves. And then they listed all the 哥哥姐姐 name list, and then start doing the callings. And called it, hey, Brother Adam, do you want to go? Hey, Gigi Natalia, do you want to come? So on and so forth. And they would say that, yeah, okay. And they were like, I think the @ sign is maybe or something like that. or but something like that. Okay, so doing all the callings by themselves, asking one by one, hoping they could come. Of course, on that day, they held. They also held uh, sharing, like a briefing on what they're going to do that day, and so they make their own PPTs. There's Xiao Kui holding on the mic, and then Xiao Mai will be there pressing the PPT for her, supporting each other. So really amazing. Well, at the end, how's that result? Well, not too bad. About tens of people coming to support them. So not bad. So of course, for our young Xiao Mai and Xiao Kui to really actually do this, our brothers and sisters, the is really important as well, and so forth. Of course, this time round, it's definitely impossible for them to do all this by themselves, but almost everything by themselves. But our Zhu Yanfang Shijie have been there to guide them and see and teach them how to go about doing this, how to do the communications, licensing, and so on and so forth. So calling out to all the brothers and sisters, Siku out there, Tzu Chi really need you. All the young generation really need you. Please guide us, lead us in doing this. We really hope to do something, but please give us the chance to try it and make errors. But please give us a chance. We really hope to do something. And so this is our Xiao Mai and Xiao Kui going out. And so there they went out for the home visit. And this is one of the care families that we went to. This Ama has been lying on bed, bedridden for many months already. And so this whole bed was like a lot of excretions and so on and so forth. So it was, of course, first time for these young Chinese generation to wash the bed cover. It's their very first time, and so of course the mamas gogos got to teach them how to wash the bed covers. And so first time trying it out, but that's very great learnings. And this is our sister Gladys. We all know about her. Of course, she's already actually 80 over years old already, but you see her hair still very black and smooth, because actually over there in South Africa, their hairs when it grows long, it will curls a lot. And so for them, many a time they will shave their head and then wear wigs. And so of course that hair, the black hair is fake, but most of them will wear that. But nevertheless, our elders really, just by example, be there together with the younger generation, show them how to have their really big smiles, and then giving out love and care to the care families. And so this is the kind of thing our local taking Chinese youngsters into the crowd, doing all this. And when I see these photos, it really touches me a lot. This is how we should take care. How should Master once said, "Lao ai ko, xiao de ai ko." We got to take care of our elderly volunteers, but at the same time guide and invite all these younger generations to join in rank and pass on the Dharma lineage. So this is what they are doing in South Africa. Little minds are really great vows over there. This whole event, just by 12 years old, organizing all this. So the future is possible. The future is bright. The younger generations is there to take out the role. And we've got to really give them a chance. But throughout all this, I've learned one more thing that I think is one of the core spirits of how South African volunteers can really be so successful in localizing and not so many, and still doing so much work over there. And that is 自力更生. That even with nothing, you can do Tzu Chi. I don't know how to better translate this forward, 自力更生, but I think that the gist of it is that even if you have nothing, you can still do Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi needs you nothing. You can begin on that. And so I want to share a bit more on this community outreach project that about every month they will go once or twice to the communities to do outreach, do sharings, to invite people to join in the volunteers rank. Well, mind you, South Africa is really, really, really huge. When we say community outreach, we're not saying walking to our neighborhoods. It's one trip down to a city is hundreds of kilometers, and so adding since 2013 they started this community outreach project, and up to now they have already traveled 62,000 kilometers. That is one round around the earth is 40 kilometers. 40,000 kilometers. So they already traveled 1.5 round the earth for these past few years. Just traveling for this community outreach projects. Because just from Durban to go to, say, Port Elizabeth, that's not even about halfway across South Africa. And there's already 1,000 kilometers. That is, if we talk about Malaysia, there's from top down and then up again. That's 1,000 kilometers. For Taiwan, it's going one whole round Taiwan, and there's 1,000 kilometers. It's just amazing. I mean, it's so far away. Why the city is so far away? But because it's so far away, it's as if they're cross country to a region that really they cannot go very frequently to take care. So these places, communities, actually sustain by themselves. Volunteer work they are doing there sustain by themselves. And how they do it? Before every trip they go on, they will have these few volunteers to begin this trip. And of course, you would think that this trip will be, we'll have traveling volunteers to bring them along. But no, actually, each of these community outreach projects are fully by local mama gogos and youngsters. Going out there, and it's not like a lot of people. 5 or 6 from Durban would travel down, and then from there will meet local volunteers in the communities, and then from there they will go out. And so it's all by themselves. And every time when they begin their trip, they will do a prayer at the roadside, and of course our local volunteers out there will be feeling. Wouldn't it be a little weird praying at roadside that everyone's looking at us? But our different volunteers will reply that when we have directions in our hearts, everywhere is a cultivation ground. 无处不道场. Everywhere is a cultivation ground. As long as we have a direction in our mind, everywhere is the right direction. And so with that, they began going out there. It's amazingly, they always do this, everyone they meet, they just invite, hey, we're going to go out there and help more people. Do you want to join us? And so you go out, ask for more people, involve people, and then they would just be under one tree and then start doing their outdoor sharings. Or they could have hundreds of people squeezing into a room of one of our volunteers' room, and then they would begin their sharings already. And then like that, people would be listening to it and then not really believing a bit in it, but about hours, 1-2 hours of sharing, so that they'll be like gaps in disbelief. Like, how is this possible? We have this group of people so pure, so good, going out there just to do good, just to help people. It's just, how is it possible? And so, of course, one of the community people stood up and asked, what made Tzu Chi able to inspire the poor that really had nothing in their pocket to go out and help others? How does Tzu Chi able to do that? What do you think? And our volunteers reply, because our Dharma master led us by example. When she began Tzu Chi, she has nothing as well. Together with all our venerables, our Sifu, Changru Sifu, they have set an example for us. They have nothing as well, but they built the whole Tzu Chi world from it with nothing. And that made us believe that it is possible. So, and when I hear this, again, it really touches me a lot that the spirits that our Dharma masters are leading is the spirits that they really hope to bring to us. And that is the spirits that have helped our African brothers and sisters to go on, help them to believe that they can also go out and help someone, because they are at the sort of the lowest rank of the social status. They are poor themselves. They may not thought they could do something for others. But our Dharma masters showed by examples that they can. 50 cents can do something for others. And that is, I think, one of the core idea of the Jing Dharma lineage, that everyone can attain Buddhahood, that everyone can uphold Lotus Sutra, everyone can become Buddha. Even like the Dragon Maiden is able to attain Buddhahood, and the same as all of us, we can all attain Buddhahood. And we can all be bodhisattvas to help others. And so that is how and why our African volunteers, they will always send their young volunteers back to Taiwan for trainings, but not really in joining our training camps, but by just participating in our abroad volunteer work. They say they learn a lot more from our Dharma masters, just working in the field together with our Dharma masters. Maybe our Dharma masters may not be able to speak a lot of English, but they're doing by example. Their body and language is what they felt that touches them, that links a lot with their life. Because what the life that our masters are living over here in their books is very much like what they live over there, earning their own livings, and making them feel that this is very, very possible. And so they say they learn so much from it. And this is how they actually do all their charity works. That they would just go out after sharings. They would say, "We'd like to make a garden." Many of them do their plantations back in their home. We'd like to make your gardens, great love gardens, and they were like, after the whole sharing, they'll be so touched. Then the community people, they will say that, "Yes, I didn't know my garden can actually do something so meaningful." And then from there on, they will have peoples where they will have gardens and they will plant, and then they will use that to feed offerings in the neighborhoods. And this is how they do Tzu Chi over there. And of course, our brothers and sisters from Durban can only come down once in a while, like once in a month or so, but it's them, the local community people, they continue the work. They will have these soup kitchens or great love gardens by themselves, supporting and then doing it every day. And then when our Durban brothers come back again about 1 month later, they'll be so happy, and then leading them to show that the garden, hey, my garden is already so much, and I'm feeding so much often. I'm so happy. I'm so joyous. This is what they are doing by their own hands, sustaining themselves. And so when we say 自力更生, doing Tzu Chi with nothing, I think that's one of the key spirits that made them able to do this. And so, at the end of each trip down the community, they will end a day. No matter how late it is, they'll always come back to the community center or say one of our brothers and sisters' home, and then they will do 宣法相. They will open up 金寺妙莲华 and then start listening to Master's teaching, translating the subtitles. No matter how late it is, they will listen to the Dharma, because they always say that 宣法相 helps them to face all the difficulties, to face all the worries in their life. And that's the nourishment they need every day. And so when our brothers and sisters from Durban come down to the local communities, our local community brothers and sisters would always seize the moments to listen to the Dhammas because they wouldn't have the chance if we couldn't read the subtitles. So when the brothers and sisters come down, their only chance to listen to Dharma, and they would really treasure that moment. And so this is our South African volunteers. I think they really took into heart what Master really cares a lot. These few days, she has been repeating this a lot and again and again. The three things that our Master has been worrying. That is how we take care of our Dharma families, and 传承, how have we maybe able to pass down the Dharma lineage, and 熏法香, taking the Dharma to heart. Have we been able to do this? Have we been able to take care of our bodhisattvas? Now, bodhisattva care for bodhisattvas. How, as bodhisattvas, have we been able to care for our Dharma families? Many of them are already old. Many of them may be sick. Have you been taking care of them? As our brothers and sisters have been bodhisattvas that ask for nothing for themselves, give off of themselves, asking for nothing, and now that maybe they need some care, are we there to give them the care? And so this Master cares a lot. 传承, have we been able to pass down the Dharma lineage? The Tzu Chi spirits that our elderly volunteers have at home, are the youngsters able to receive? And is the passing smooth? All of this, I think we need to take into heart and really look into our communities, our teachings in our neighborhood. Are we really taking care of it and taking them onto this path? And then 熏法香, there's all of our brothers and sisters over here. I think every day we continue to do our 熏法香. That really would help. They really gave strength to our Dharma Master, that we care a lot for the Dharma, and that is the formless thing, that the greatest treasure that Master can give us. And with Dharma in heart, Tzu Chi will continue in this world on and on and on. And so I think these three things is really important. Our brothers and sisters in Africa are taking up this task, and so I want to share this with brothers and sisters all over the world as well. Let's take up this task also, and that our Master not worry for us. Thank you. This is the sharing for today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, Master. Yeah, brothers and sisters from around the world. My name is Everett Ong. Yeah, I'm logging in from Kuala Lumpur. Okay. My today the topic of my today's sharing is why are we still easily get upset? Worried. Despite in Tzu Chi for so many years. Yeah. Before I go on, and we must know that Master's teaching is not just about learning the concept, 概念. Before I start, let me do some self-introduction. Okay. My name is Jing. So as you can see, thank you, Sister Siu Ching, for giving me this opportunity. What kind of person am I before I joined Tzu Chi? I'm a person of like superstitious, do a lot of asking, feng shui here and there. Yeah, a nightlife person, and I'm a heavy meat, eater. And now I'm a vegetarian and I own a vegetarian restaurant. Okay, and why am I bringing this out? As you can see on my slide, this is my restaurant. Okay, what I want to emphasize is, if you can see on the red 5 Chinese letter words, 蛇轮转法轮, and the 3 clocks. You see, because I remember Master Cheng Yen, she want to push on the 无神说法. Okay, so the intention is that I want to bring Tzu Chi's, into today's society, and you see the three clocks, for example. Okay, the three clock is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So because I remember Master Cheng Yen say, in life we should be, focusing on current movement. Just like when we walk, when our front leg is in front, our back leg must, we have to pull out. See, that's how we progress. And to us, to me, it's all started on, our mouth, the way, what we eat. That's why I said, 舌轮转法轮. Okay, back to this today's topic. There is a little bit on introduction, my self-introduction. Okay. Why are we still, upset, as I said earlier, and get worried, 烦恼，还有很多烦恼 because we always stay at the level of the concept, 概念. Because I think in Tzu Chi or in Buddhism, I think we cannot just stay at one side. You see, what we need on the other side is that a practice. Okay, 慈修, we call it. You see, it's just like a bird, a pair of wings that we need. You see, learning in Tzu Chi, okay, once we learn, we have to apply what we have learned. So you see, to me, way we learn, okay, is 心法相, okay, and to practice what we learn is the Bodhisattva path. Okay. Why do I apply all master teaching into my life? Because I trust. Okay, and the question is where's my trust and faith are coming from? It's through 文思修了哈 okay 文法 训法 all right that's why important that I think every disciple of master should if you can't attend to the morning Dharma at all, at least Dai Tai. And once we have learned, we need to think 思考 think what master's teaching. Yeah, as Buddha said, they don't want us to follow exactly everything what he said, but we have to apply, use our own way, and we got to 文思修, we got to walk the Bodhisattva path. Okay, 行菩萨道. But the question is, the more we learn, the more challenges we suffer. Why? Because like myself, back then, lack of understanding. What kind of understanding that we lack of actually? Yeah, I call it, the lack in cultivation, and where went wrong. Because back then, I think I know. So when I think I know, I will stop learning without myself realizing. Okay, so 我知道 I know, but 我不觉. Okay, I don't realize. Okay, cultivation to me is not just downloading, but applying. It comes in pairs, just like the bird. Okay, you see a pair of birds. Okay. So what I like this picture. This picture will really represents us. You see what you all can understand through this a picture of a guy sitting on the peak of a mountain with so many clouds. You see, what can you understand from this? Okay, you see the picture. Okay, is the environment, 色景 that every day we come across. The moment we wake up till the moment we sleep. You see, and the cloud represent the all our thought. Okay, all the 概念 okay, all the 妄念 okay, and the mountain is our true self. Okay, which is not moving at all. So why we are doing this every day. We are that person who's sitting on the peak of the mountain every day without we realizing. But one thing is that we always get distracted by those clouds that move along the way in our life. You see, that is very dangerous, because if we continue focusing on the clouds, we have started forgetting our true, our our self nature, the Tzu Chi, we call it. Okay, so you see, the message which I'm trying to share is that, which is what I learned, okay, over the years in Tzu Chi. Okay, you see, the clouds will continue flowing, all right, and it will not stop, and please don't stop the clouds. You see, our job is to let it flow, because every day we have 86,400 seconds. So in another way, we have 86,400 of thoughts arise, every day. It's impossible that we stop. But our job, our role is we just watch the thing come, the clouds comes. When the clouds come, it will go, and again it will come and go. So we just stay at the level of knowing. You see, that's why we call it what is the word? 界定会 Okay, so you see, when we practice, this is a we call it a kung fu kind of a kung fu of cultivating. It's a 是功考功夫的 So when we continue watch our mind, our mind will keep on wandering outside. When we realize, when we keep on following our mind, and one thing we realize, we are watching over our mind, our thoughts. So when our thoughts wandering outside, we got to pull it back, just focusing on our emotion, our thoughts, and forgetting about the environment, what happens around, whether it is happy or it is sad. So, and if we continue doing this, we will realize that we are getting more calm. When we calm, then we will easily for us to associate or the precepts. So when we are so calm, you see, then that's where the wisdom will start growing. Right. Just as I said, back to the pair of the what call that is the bird, just like a doctor, you see. A doctor start taking classes, but and they he or she need to have the practical practice at the hospital. So my sharing is that whenever we learn from master sharing, teaching, Xin Fa Xiang, or in in Tzu Chi's activities, we don't just do it blindly. We should apply every learning into everything that we do. Okay. So I joined Tzu Chi in 2012, all right, which is not that long. What I see is that I realized that for the first few years, I have no idea what is my direction after some times. Okay, so there are times I have to admit that退行温度降低了哈, those the passion towards Tzu Chi I start to question, why am I still doing this? And I also see there's many other practitioners having the same thing, and we start questioning other Session behavior or their work. Why this is happening? So if this continue, our heart is easily retreat. You see, so 退行 and we get tired mentally and physically. So what is important to have this pair of wing? We definitely need the idea of concept. Okay, 概念我们一定要概念 we need to have the 概念 but after having this concept, we need to have another set of wings, which is the 实修, the actual path we have to walk, using what we have learned from the concept. Why? Because if either one of them is without one of them, so what will happen if we have the concept but we don't walk the path, we didn't walk into the society, what will happen? I think what will follow is the arrogant, the self-centered, because we think we already know, we didn't apply. You see, so when this happens, affliction will rise. So now, do you guys see the significance of having this both, right? So I always share with some of the practices that I come across on the Xin Fa Xiang. You see, and like myself, the reason that I always give myself is that I have not enough sleep. I like to sleep, and I sleep late, the kind of reason that we saw ourselves. So I would like to, sometimes I joke around and tell them is that, there's a difference between, sleeping at home and sleep during Shivasya. Because when you sleep at home, I think it's more like a, you know, building our karma, you see. But if we attend the Shivasya, and sometimes we get so sleepy, you know, like myself, I don't really understand Master Chi Chi, the Taiwan master language, okay. So I sometimes feel so sleepy. So, and if you sleep, I'm not saying that it is okay to sleep during Simfasyan, but at least if I go there and I fall asleep, I think it's to me, it's like cleanse my karma, you know, cleansing my karma. So there's a bit difference. This is, what I realized. Okay, so I think hence we must constantly walk into this Bodhisattva path, which is the Pusas Dao, and only to reveal our self nature, our 功能, okay, because self nature is equivalent to 佛性 or 自性佛性. Okay. Okay. Back then, I would like to touch on a emptiness, because many of us, you know, like myself, Buddhist learning, we always talk about emptiness, and a lot of us, you know, have a wrong concept on emptiness. You see, what is emptiness? Emptiness is not nothing. You see, it is not something that we create purposely or by force and keep telling ourselves in order to clear off things in our mind. You see, that is not empty. That is, I call it hollow. You see, a person, we cannot live hollow, you know, in our mind constantly. So we always get wrong with the word emptiness. What is emptiness? Emptiness is, we must know that anything that can happen, and we must understand why things happen at that moment or at any moment. You see, meaning we have to accept things that come along the way. If it doesn't come, great. If it comes, we have to learn to just focus on our thoughts and not focus on the environment or focus on the thing. Okay, a person that, you know, wanted to practice emptiness must, keep learn to accept things that happen along the way, and must ensure, as I mentioned, as I said just now, the thought must get back together with ourselves. This is ourself, and we have to keep on bringing it back. You see, every time. Yeah, that's, as I mentioned earlier, this is a kung fu, you know, cultivating, means we have to practice. You know, we keep on practice. That's why, you know, Tzu Chi is Buddhism in action. You see, so only through this constant of practicing, you know, bringing back our mind into one. Okay, our thought wandering, bring back into one. Then the value of things or the features of us is, because everything that appear in this world, that, you know, be human or life or things or cup or table, they have their own 功能, we call it feature, and the true features can only be revealed through the cause and condition, the 因缘 or 因缘观, that comes together at the same time, simultaneously. All right. For example, let's say like today's meeting, you see, we need so many things that come along the way. You know, we have the internet, we need to have a topic, we need to have our laptop, you know, different that comes together to, you know, create the features. Okay, the 功能 of today's Shrivasya. Okay. Meaning, because if without all this coming along, nothing can stand alone and present itself, its value of existence in this world. So how to reveal, you know, present our value? We need an environment or a path, okay, a bodhisattva path to reveal that out. But the tricky is that, the risk is that when we get involved into the path, we will get attached to the environment or to the emotion that come along the way, which we shouldn't do that. We should just involve in the, you know, the activities, for example, let's say charity or, you know, some big events. So, but we just know only, we don't get attached to the emotion that rise. Okay, so again, emptiness is stay middle. You see, we have to stay in the middle, the neutral path of the 中道 lah. But at the same time, we must know anything that can happen along the way. That's all. Okay. this need much practice. How long is it all depends on. Indeed, for myself, you see, it takes me a long time to realize this, and I'm still learning this. And sometimes I do get attached also. My emotions do sway away. But once I realize, oh no, I have to bring back my mind. So then I realize that I get more calm. I speak more softly, compared to those days. You see, and one more thing is that Master Cheng Yen always emphasized recently is that we have to apply what we have learned, all this while in Tzu Chi. That's why the concept we have all the concept, the understanding. We have to start applying, whatever that we learn. I would like to quote one example. It's so easily for us to attach, to our emotion. I used to go to my restaurant. There's one night, Friday night, which is a lot of people. I was at home, around 6 something in the evening, and I just take my shower. I take my dinner. I'm so comfortable. I'm so tired. Yep. Yeah. So I'm so tired. I was like, yeah, I want to delay. Should I go to my restaurant? But end up I still go. But from 6 something, I'm still thinking until 8:30. End up I still go. So along the way to my restaurant, I pass by a bus stop. See, and I see a lot of people are waiting for the buses to get to their respective home. That time is already 9 o'clock night time, and I realized. So the moment when I apply what the Dharma into my life, I realized I am wrong. I repent because. People are waiting at the bus stop. They are at 9 o'clock. They are not, they haven't taken their dinner. They're also sweaty, being so tired for the rest of the day. And for myself, I'm just being lazy, giving myself a lot of excuses. So that's one of the reason that we should always constantly apply, our Dharma into our daily life. You see, all right. And Master Cheng always emphasized, and she mentioned that she have a strength, but she has no breath. You see, 她有那个力，她没有那个气。So that's why being a disciple of Master Cheng Yen, okay, I think it's time for us to, what we have learned, Wen Si Xiu, we need to apply back. You see, just like I like to, you take this example, a father who take care of the children have no money. It's okay for the father will providing financially, from time to time. But I believe the children cannot be always relying on the father or the parents, getting money. The children should learn from the parents how to earn money and then find the money, That's how we should look at this way. Else, it's very difficult, it's very difficult for the father to continue taking care of the children. This will make the parents very tired. So, okay, I think I'm close to the almost the end of my sharing. So,
hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, brother, on sharing. Actually, through the slide that he showed us, as we understand the concept, especially when we learn and listen to the Dharma, and yet we have to get balance. Is that we have to practice it in our daily life. This is true. I remember that on the last the recent trip that Master go around Taiwan. I think they say there's a sharing from sentient when Jing when they have Malaysian entrepreneurs come to have a short conversation with Master Cheng Yen. And one of the entrepreneurs asked Master saying that if you want to uphold the concept, the precept, I think for the drinking alcohol, or maybe it's for smoking, I can't do that. The rest, maybe I can. So that person is asking some answer from Master Cheng Yen. And Master give him a very simple answer, saying that it's very easy if you think you can't control of drinking or smoking. It's very simple, at least as far as you stop not to drink and not to, just very simple. If you can't do that and you just remind yourself not to drink and you don't take the alcohol in your hand, take a glass of wine or what. Just simply you practice it and you don't hold the alcoholic drinks on your hand. It's very simple, but just only our desire. I think because our consciousness controls us, not our wisdom. As Master always mentioned that we have to turn our six consciousness into wisdom, but we are ordinary first being, and we always follow our desire and this control our action. I think this is why we easily to get upset or worries or get angry or anything. This is one point. I think because we are still do according to our desires, not because we want to control and not to forcing to do the bad thing. I think this is very important. So we have to keep practicing by listening to Dharma and take it. So and that entrepreneurs ask the second question and say, my son very young, and it's just like nowadays we are have a mobile or computer and programs or whatever. So do nothing, and how can encourage the son to go to change this to fully utilize the time. And the surrounding in the conversation room, and the people, they are laughing and saying, just like Master answered the question saying, ask him stop playing games through a mobile phone or a computer. This is the majority give the person the answer. But yet Master this time never say that you have to stop your son not to play a cell phone or computer. Instead of the answer, and Master say you have to encourage him to do the to join the Tzu Chi work, so that he is busy until he has no time to play games or the mobile. So this is the answer from Master, and I think Master will give us a different kind of answer according to different conditions and the person as well. So it's very important. So we must listen to the Master and the direction. So I think if we follow and we practice it, I think gradually we will get better in our life. Once we feel that we have some change in our daily life, and I think that means that we already have comprehend the concept, and we already take some practicing and to mix together and make it equal. I think as well as we feel like we have some changing or maybe some advancing or keep improving, I think this is a good. Or if you feel like we're getting less lazy or or whatever the bad thing, that means that at least we are turn consciousness into a wisdom, like thinking, oh, should I keep diligently or not to keep sleeping, or not to just stop on the Yuan Di. So this is only the mind and the desires, I think, controls. I think this is my feedback. And sorry for the lag. It's already past 8 o'clock. Okay, thank you.